The progressive movement in this country is dangerous and damaging to the founding principles of this exceptional nation. As your conservative candidate, I stand for truth, freedom, and the values that our forefathers brought with them when they fled religious persecution. I refuse to see those values dissolve in the water of ignorance passed off as tolerance. We must not forget the glorious history of this nation. America has a God-given right to its national resources, to protect its land and stave off any and all enemies, foreign and domestic. I am severely conservative, and being a true conservative means that I know a true free market is the only way this nation can thrive. We must unshackle the chains placed upon corporations by the federal government. We must reduce regulation on banks so they can make investments and rebuild our economy. We must also lighten the tax burden on our job creators because they are the heartbeat of our society. Furthermore, we must make sure that the tax burden in our country is not carried by only a small few, for it was our forefathers' intention that all members of society pay taxes, the poor and the wealthy. I promise you, the American people, I will bring honor, dignity, and responsibility back to the office of the presidency. We will build a nation based on fiscal responsibility as opposed to socialist philosophies. In America, we value life. We practice protectionism. We understand that by relieving the tax burden on our job creators, more wealth can trickle down to everyone. And we know that America is undoubtedly exceptional. This election isn't about me, however. This election is about preserving our nation's conservative values before they are forever lost. We cannot continue to be a nation of dependence. I hope I can count on you and your vote on November 2nd.
There are many facets to progressivism, but most of all, it's about movement forward. It's about acceptance and hope and the belief that there can be a good and stable life for all Americans. This is a lofty task, but there are actions we can take to improve the lot of others. Our founding fathers had a vision that we were capable of creating a nation in which everyone has an equal opportunity, no matter what zip code they live in or what school they attend. They envisioned a nation in which your quality of life isn't dependent on how much money your parents have, but your desire to triumph over the many obstacles you may face, economically, socially, politically. As your progressive candidate, I will fight to make sure that every person in this country has affordable medical care. Medical care is not a privilege, it's a fundamental right. Not in a free country. We cannot forget that we are a nation of immigrants, inhabiting land the Native Americans once reigned. We must be humbled in our history and work together to create policies that don't cause fear, but that empower immigrants to become legal members of our great nation. It is precisely our differences that encompass our strength. The Puritans settled this land for the purpose of religious freedom, but they also felt free to exclude, oppress, and banish others. We are not a theocracy. We are a democratic nation. Our founding fathers firmly believed in freedom of religion as well as freedom from religion, which is why the First Amendment and Establishment Clause of the U.S. Constitution are so crucial to our nation. We've seen in the past that giving banks free rein with consumer money while our country lacks appropriate regulations is a recipe for disaster. We can no longer allow corporations to hold the American people hostage. We must ensure our banks are stable and are not gambling with the future of the American people, the construction worker, the school teacher, the doctor, the average American. We must develop programs that provide relief and recovery, but not dependence to the American people. As your progressive candidate, I promise to shine light on the corruption in Washington, improve our economy, and help our country better understand how we can create a more perfect union as our founding fathers challenged us to do. I look forward to seeing you at the polls in November.